What if I told you the only reason you haven't achieved everything you've ever wanted is because you were trained not to? From the moment you could walk, you were taught to seek permission, validation from others, approval from systems, love from those who never truly saw you. But here's the truth. You were never meant to be an option. You were meant to be great. Somewhere deep inside, you already know this. You feel it. A quiet rebellion in your soul that whispers, I was born for more. And yet you wait. You hesitate. You shrink, not because you lack potential, but because you've forgotten who you are. Greatness does not come to those who wish. It comes to those who decide. Decide to want with intensity, to believe with fire, to act without apology. The world doesn't need more conformity. It needs your burning desire, your unshakable faith, and your unyielding persistence. The power is already yours. The question is, will you claim it? Let me ask you a question, a dangerous question. What do you really want? Not what society rewards, not what your fear has allowed you to settle for. I ask you, at the depth of your being, what burns in you when all the noise dies down? Because that is where your destiny begins. It does not begin with talent. It does not begin with luck. It begins with desire, a burning, definite desire that refuses to be silenced even when the world says, be realistic. But here's the tragedy. Most people never claim their own life, not because they are weak, but because they were trained to be uncertain, trained to ask for permission, trained to dim their inner fire so others would feel more comfortable in their presence. And so they drift, with hopes but no direction, with wishes but no decision. Understand this. Desire is the starting point of all achievement, not casual wanting, not vague ambition, but white-hot, unrelenting desire. Desire so clear, so demanding it becomes a command to your subconscious mind. No, let us pause. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Have you ever named it, written it down, held it in your mind with so much clarity that you could see it, touch it, feel it? If not, then it is no wonder you feel lost. No ship reaches a harbor it cannot name. Let me tell you a truth that transformed my own life and the lives of every successful man and woman I ever studied. No one achieves anything of lasting value until they first decide what they truly desire and decide it with finality. Think of Edwin C. Barnes. He did not merely wish to work with Thomas Edison, he decided. He said, I will go into business with Edison and I will do it or die trying. That was his desire, clear, definite, burning. Not once did he say, I hope. He said, I will, and he did. You see, the world does not respond to vague intention. It responds to definiteness of purpose, to those rare souls who have dared to choose their aim and refuse to retreat. And here's the great secret most never realize. You were not born to chase opportunity. You were born to create it. With the fire of your own mind, desire transforms you. It rewrites the script you've been handed. It says, I no longer beg to be chosen. I choose myself. But desire without direction is just noise, and direction without faith becomes burden. You must believe, not because it's easy, but because belief is the bridge between where you are and where you're destined to be. So I challenge you now, write your desire in stone, speak it aloud, imprint it on your mind until it becomes a part of your identity, and then move. Move as though it is already yours. Walk, speak, and think as though the thing you desire is just waiting for your decision to arrive. Because in truth, let me be clear, you will be tested. The dream you declare will demand sacrifice. You will face doubt, rejection, silence. But those are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are on the right path. The mountain never appears to those who refuse to climb. So climb, rise, choose, burn. Because here is the final truth, and it is one you must etch upon your soul. The moment you choose your desire with all your being, the universe begins moving toward you, not because you are entitled, but because you are aligned. Let me begin with a truth that most people spend their entire lives avoiding. No one is coming to believe in you until you do. Look around. The world waits for proof before it applauds. But success, true, lasting, soul-altering success, does not come to those who need to be believed in. It comes to those who choose to believe in themselves first, last, and without apology. And that, my friend, is faith. Faith is not a feeling. It is not blind hope. It is inner certainty. planted in the invisible, nourished by action, and protected by will. Faith is the bridge between your desire and its manifestation. Without it, even the grandest dreams will rot in the soil of self-doubt. But this is the quiet tragedy of most lives. They wait. Wait for approval, wait for signs, wait for someone else to say you can. But tell me, how can anyone see greatness in you if you have not dared to see it yourself? You were born into a world that rewards the loud, but not always the true. From an early age, you were taught to seek validation from teachers, from lovers, from bosses. You were told to earn your worth, to play small, to fit in, to wait your turn. But the truth is this: you don't need to be chosen. You need to choose yourself. Faith is the act of choosing before the evidence appears. It is the invisible foundation beneath every skyscraper of success. It is the voice that says, I will, when the world still says, you can't. Think of Henry Ford. When he said he would build a car for the masses, they laughed. They told him he was insane. But Ford didn't argue. He believed. And because he believed, he persisted. And because he persisted, he succeeded. Faith makes you dangerous to mediocrity. It is the quiet fire the world cannot extinguish. It says, I do not need your permission to rise. I am the permission. Now I ask you, what if you believed like that? What if you stopped asking others to validate your dream and instead became its fiercest protector? What if your decisions were made from vision, not fear, from purpose, not approval? Because here's the law: until you develop faith in your own mind, you will forever be a servant to someone else's. Let that settled faith is not handed to you, it is built. You build it through repetition, through discipline, through standing in the storm and saying, still, I rise. You build it every time you choose courage over comfort, clarity over chaos, purpose over popularity. You do not wait to feel confident, you decide to be convinced. And once you do, life begins to shift. Not all at once, but moment by moment, doors begin to open, not because the world changed, but because you did. So now I must challenge you. What belief have you been waiting for someone else to give you that only you can create? What power have you handed to others, hoping they would see in you what you refuse to see in yourself? It ends now. Today, you must plant a new idea in your mind. I am the source, not the echo, not the victim, not the second choice. To the source, you must train yourself to think it, speak it, be it, until doubt has no home left in your spirit. Because here is the truth that echoes across every age, through every victory, and within every man or woman who ever dared to rise. The world believes in those who first believe in themselves. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. Let them wait. But you move forward with faith like stone, with vision like fire, and with a voice that no fear can silence. Let me begin with an irrefutable truth that most people never confront. You do not attract what you deserve, you attract what you decide. You see, we have been conditioned to believe that life hands us what we're worthy of. We believe that good fortune, love, respect, or success must be earned by external standards, by luck, by birthright, or by chance. But let me ask you, who decided those standards? The truth is, what you are worthy of is irrelevant. You will attract what you decide to be, what you choose to declare, what you choose to become. Your external world is merely a mirror to your internal decisions. How many times have you heard someone say, I just want what I deserve? And how often have you heard that echoed by yourself when the world didn't seem to grant your wish? You've been waiting, haven't you? Waiting for someone to validate your dreams, to recognize your worth, to open the door for you. But I say to you today, no one will open the door unless you knock it down with purpose. What you attract in life begins with the decisions you make. Decisions not based on what the world tells you is possible, but on what you decide is inevitable. You do not need permission to be great. Think of Andrew Carnegie, who started as a poor boy with nothing but a burning desire and an unshakable decision. He didn't wait for the world to acknowledge his worth. He decided to build an empire, one brick, one deal, one mind at a time. He knew his value and he set the terms. His decision created reality. It was not his circumstances that defined him, but the strength of his resolve. And that's where you too must start. With a decision. Have you decided what you will become? Have you decided the price you are willing to pay for greatness? Or have you been living under the illusion that circumstances must change first before you can step into your full potential? If so, I challenge you to stop waiting. You are waiting for approval that was never meant to come. You are waiting for someone to see in you what you must first see in yourself. Here is the harsh truth. Your circumstances will never change until you make the decision to change them. We have all been taught to be passive participants in life. 15, 20 minutes. We've been told to wait for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right person. But success is not a matter of luck, it is a matter of decision. What separates the average from the extraordinary is this: extraordinary people decide who they are going to be, and they refuse to settle for less. They do not wait for validation, they declare their worth, and they act as if it is already true. You see, when you decide what you want, and you believe it with unwavering faith, you begin to attract those very circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your decision. The universe, in all its mystery, responds to that level of certainty. It will never deliver on your hopes, it only delivers on your decisions. So let me ask you again, what have you decided? Have you decided to be average? So to settle for a life half lived, only seeking what the world gives you by default? Have you made a conscious decision to create the life you deserve? It is within your power to declare who you will become. No one else can make that choice for you. Not your past, not your failures, not your relationships. No, you decide. And when you decide, everything changes. I challenge you today to make a decision. A decision not just to want success or happiness or fulfillment, but to claim them, to declare with full certainty that they are your birthright and that you will stop at nothing to bring them into your life. Do not wait for someone else's approval, for it will never come. Your decision is the approval you need. Let me ask you something that may shake you to your core. What is the voice that you listen to when no one else is speaking? Because that voice, the one that whispers in the silence, in the moments before sleep and after awakening, that is the one that shapes your reality. Not the words of others, not the opinions of the crowd, but the voice that speaks within you, that defines what you believe about yourself and the world. Most people live in a constant state of mental turmoil. They're at war with themselves, letting fear, doubt, and negative self-talk guide their actions. But I tell you, the mind is a fertile field, and every thought you plant, whether positive or negative, will grow. What are you planting in your mind? Every thought you entertain, every word you speak is an instruction to your subconscious. And just as the body obeys physical laws, the mind obeys the laws of thought. The mind is not passive, it is an obedient servant to the commands you give it. But most people have never learned how to command it. You've been taught to listen to external voices, to the world, to your upbringing, to the limitations of your environment. But let me tell you the greatest truth of all. You are the creator of your thoughts, no one else. Think about it. How many times have you been caught in a loop of self-doubt, hearing that internal voice say, "You're not good enough, you'll never succeed," or "You don't deserve it"? That voice is not reality. It is a belief system you've unknowingly programmed into your mind. And just as easily as it was programmed, it can be reprogrammed. You see, the key is repetition. Repetition reprograms the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is the true creator of your reality. The mind will believe what you tell it, whether it's the truth or a lie. If you continuously repeat a belief about your worth, your capabilities, your purpose, it will become reality. This is not wishful thinking. This is the law of autosuggestion, a principle that has transformed lives for centuries. The more often you say something to yourself, the more deeply it sinks into your subconscious, and from there it shapes your actions, decisions, and experiences. Think of Thomas Edison. He faced failure after failure in his pursuit of the light bulb. The world said it was impossible, that he was crazy. But Edison had a voice within him, a voice that refused to hear failure as defeat. He didn't listen to the critics. Instead, he listened to the vision that was planted in his mind and repeated it with unwavering faith. That vision led him to success, and it was the product of his inner voice, his persistent belief. You must ask yourself, what voice are you listening to right now? Is it one of doubt or is it one of conviction? Is it the voice of your fears or the voice of your purpose? The truth is, you can control the narrative. You can consciously choose the thoughts you want to fuel your mind. So I ask you now, what are you telling yourself every single day? Are you repeating affirmations of your greatness, your power, your purpose? Or are you silently accepting the messages of limitation that others have imposed on you? The choice is yours, and every repetition is either reinforcing your limitations or expanding your possibilities. The power of repetition is not just in what you hear, but in what you believe to be true. If you continuously feed your mind with thoughts of failure, of lack, of I can't, then that is exactly what you will attract. But when you feed your mind with thoughts of abundance, of achievement, of relentless perseverance, that is what you will become. Remember, what you plant in your mind, you harvest in your life. The voice you listen to today becomes the actions you take tomorrow. Now is the time to become the master of your mind, to consciously choose what you will repeat to yourself. Reprogram the voice inside you. Stop asking for permission from the world. Give yourself permission to rise. I ask you with all the conviction I can muster, what is the one thing that separates the dreamers from the achievers? It is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even opportunity. The one thing that separates those who succeed from those who falter is persistence. Many of you have dreams, you have ambitions, desires, and visions that burn brightly within you. But I ask you, have you ever given up too soon? Have you ever let the weight of temporary failure, the sting of criticism, or the shadow of doubt cause you to abandon the very dreams you once held so dearly? I want you to understand something now, something that may forever change the way you approach your life's pursuits. Success is not about starting, it is about staying the course, no matter how steep the climb, no matter how hard the battle. You see, persistence is not merely a virtue, it is the very fuel that turns desire into reality. The man or woman who is willing to endure, to press on when others turn away, is the one who transforms dreams into tangible, lasting achievements. This principle has been proven time and again. Think of the great men and women who shaped history, not because they were the most talented or the most fortunate, but because they refused to surrender. They persisted. Take the story of Colonel Sanders, for example. A man with a vision, yes, but also a man who faced rejection after rejection. Sanders knocked on over 1,000 doors before finding his first partner for his now iconic Kentucky Fried Chicken empire. Many would have quit after a handful of rejections, but Sanders understood one simple truth. Persistence pays when doubt is silenced by determination. What he knew, and what you must understand, is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of it. The path to greatness is rarely straight. There are detours, delays, and obstacles that will challenge your resolve. But I tell you this, your true character is revealed not by the moments when everything goes right, but by the moments when you face defeat and rise again. It is in these moments, when the world tells you to stop, that you must decide whether you will continue or whether you will let your dreams die. And if you choose persistence, if you choose to press forward with unwavering faith in your purpose, then you will find the power to turn failure into a stepping stone and adversity into triumph. But what keeps you from being persistent? It is the voices of doubt, the whispers of fear, and the lies of society that tell you that you're not good enough or that the road ahead is too difficult. They convince you to settle for mediocrity, to believe that success is for others, not for you. These voices, these chains must be broken. You must learn to drown them out, to reject the limitations imposed by the world and by your own fear. Perseverance is a matter of decision, and decision comes from belief. If you truly believe in the power of your dreams, you will persist no matter what. If you truly know that your purpose is bigger than any setback, you will endure through the storms. You are not meant to live a life of ease. You are meant to live a life of significance. And significance comes not through the absence of struggle, but through your ability to rise, to push forward, and to persist when the world tells you to give up. Think of the oak tree. When it is young, the wind can bend it, the storms can batter it, yet it grows stronger with each passing storm. The roots go deeper, the branches reach higher, and the oak becomes a mighty force in the forest. You too must grow through adversity. You too must persist. I tell you now, if you want to succeed, you must decide to persist, no matter what. You must decide that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise again. And I leave you with this final, undying truth. Persistence is not merely a characteristic of the successful, it is the very foundation of success. If you wish to turn your dreams into reality, you must become the embodiment of persistence. So I ask you, will you persist even when the world tells you no? Will you rise again no matter how many times you fall? Or will you surrender to mediocrity, to fear, and to doubt? The choice is yours, and it begins with one decision: to persist. The question now is, what will your answer be?